Hey there, Fashion Crossroads fans. Welcome to Wednesday Wardrobing Live. This is our new April series, which is all about putting the trends together. In March, we covered all of the trends. We broke them down by style, by color, by fabric, by accessory. And so this month, we are taking all of that knowledge and putting it together. So I'm doing deep dives into the trends that I taught you in March, and we're talking about what they are, how to wear them, how to style them, and how to put them together. So thank you so much for watching. Make sure you share this with a fellow fashionista who you think would love this video. Appreciate you guys always. So tonight we are covering ruffles and frills. So it seems like every spring and summer there is some kind of a feminine trend, whether it's florals or chiffons or, you know, ruffles, anything like that. This year, this season, we have them all. We've got the lightweight fabric trends, we've got the ruffle trends, we've got the ruffle and the frills, and we have the feminine and the floral. So this is girly summer, guys. It is the time to embrace your girliness, and we're going to talk about how to do that in an age-appropriate way tonight. So what does it mean when we say that we have a ruffle and frill trend? So basically, you're going to see that showing up in a lot of different ways. A lot of the times it's going to be in the sleeve. So these are called flutter sleeves, and they're meant to kind of almost look like a little butterfly. And that is a great example of this trend and how you're going to see it showing up in fabrics. You're also going to see it in like greater concentration across the shoulders. So here is a whole extra placket that acts as a cap sleeve that covers your shoulders and adds that extra bit of ruffle, and then comes all the way down the front here, so you can see tons of cute little feminine details happening with that top. Here's another good example. So you have the little tie neck, the ruffles along the neck right here, and then you have your flutter sleeve happening on the side. So all the things happening with this little guy here, and then we could use this same top for the floral trend, right? But what I am wanting to point out to you tonight are the ruffle and the frill trends and how you're going to be seeing those show up in fashion. So here is another example. This one's a little bit more toned down. So you have that kind of ruffling along the neck here. So you can see that little bit of a detail piece that goes all along the neck. And then you have that big fun flutter sleeve on the side as well. So you've got both of those happening with this little pretty top from Democracy. And then this one is probably the most toned down example. This one also skews Western. So we're going to talk about that. We're going to talk about how ruffle can skew boho, and it can skew Western, and it can skew feminine. And really, which direction you take it depends a lot on how you style it. So here's a great little kind of Western inspired. You've got the yoke, which really does give that a Western inspiration. You've got the ruffle details along the neck here, the ruffle details in this cute little added embellishment here, and then you have your ruffle sleeve. A lot of times too, ladies, you're also this season going to be seeing puffed sleeves. So just a tiny little bit of shoulder pad here, or pleating, or something to kind of make those sleeves stand up almost as if you had a shoulder pad in the 80s, but it's going to be with a little bit of a feminine flair. So that's a great example of how these are showing up. I also got a couple of dresses in, brand new from Maggie London, and I wanted to show you how this is showing up on dresses as well. So here's your great example of the little puff sleeve on the side there, and then you have your ruffle detail along the waistband here. So just a tiny little bit. And then of course the ruffle detail along the bottom of that dress. And then this one is more of the flounce. So you've got your beautiful, and this one is actually the chiffon trend too, and the floral trend, but you also have this beautiful kind of flounce here that hangs down the front. And then you have a tiny little bit of ruffling there at the shoulder. And then this one is a great example of the ruffle trend. So you have your flutter sleeve, you have your fun, beautiful tie waist, and you have your beautiful flounce along the front here with the ruffle detail. So do you see that? This one is sewn, so it doesn't open up, but you can see that little ruffling along the hem and along the front. So that is how you're gonna see ruffles showing up. So if you're 50, if you're 40, if you're 60, are you too old to wear ruffles? Absolutely not. It's all in how you style it and the level of the ruffle. So we're gonna talk about that a little bit. So this one is probably the youngest ruffle that I showed you. And I say that because with that pretty shoulder detail, there's a lot of ruffling happening here. It's a very almost prairie kind of in the design. And because of that, it skews a little younger versus this one, which could be for any age. You've got your just very toned down ruffle on the sleeve, your very toned down ruffle along the neck. So no, you do not need to avoid ruffles if you are over 20. You just need to choose well how much ruffle you're wearing and also how you style it. So let's talk about that a little bit. I told you guys that ruffles can go, they can go Western, they can go boho prairie, Western prairie, and they can also go feminine. So all three of those, you can take them in any direction that you want, depending on what you put with them. So a classic example of to pair with a ruffle top is a tiered skirt. They work really nicely together. They make a pretty little accent to the ruffle top, and they're the style kind of gives that little bit of a prairie or country feel to it, which works really nicely back with those ruffle tops. So there's one example of that. Here's another example with a little longer skirt. So you can see how that works really well. You've got the little tiny bit of ruffle going on in the shoulder. You've got the tiered, which is very feminine and nice, and together they really come together to make a really good look that pulls off that ruffle really, really well. This one that I showed you that has a little bit more ruffle, even this one is pretty with this blue and white tiered skirt. You could also tone this down with a pair of jeans easily if you wanted to, like a skinny pant like what I'm wearing tonight, so like a skinny legged slack would tone this down as well. If you wanted to kind of make this look a little bit older, that would be a great way to do that. You can also put ruffle with jeans, and it's kind of fun to do kind of it's kind of like a high-low style or a like a dressed up, dressed down style. So to pull that off, you take like a really feminine, somewhat dressy blouse like this one with the ruffles around the sleeve or around the neck and then the little flounce sleeve, and you pair it up with a really casual bottom. So this jean is like, it's distressed, it's got the raw edge on the bottom, it's meant to look like it's been worn, almost like your boyfriend's jeans. So you put those two together, and that's a really fun and trendy way to kind of bring that ruffle trend down and make it wearable for every day, even for casual wear. So if you want to go boho with it, then you can choose a bottom with some boho details to really kind of bring that whole boho thing out. So like this is a great example with this really pretty scalloped edge on this jean and this gorgeous embroidery. You take that and you put it with this top, and suddenly you've got a very boho feel. Whereas if you took this top and put it with just a very sleek jean, it completely takes that away. So you can emphasize or de-emphasize depending upon how you are pairing these up and wearing them. Here's another example. So this top we said can skew Western, but if I put it with some fun little boho jeans with the lace inserts in the bottom, then suddenly it goes boho. Or if I put it with these great boot cut jeans and then maybe wear my cowboy boots, so as an example, this look here, then suddenly you've taken this top with the ruffles and skewed it Western. So do you see how that works? It's all about how you're pairing it up, and if you're wanting to emphasize the ruffles and what direction you're wanting to take that look. So with ruffles, I think you want to keep your accessories very minimalistic. Just because you already have so much going on, usually around the neck or the shoulder, you don't want to add a bunch of extra emphasis there. So something that's just very simple, like this little silver and black necklace, is a great example of the kind of accessories you want to choose. Very minimalistic. Also with your purses, I think you want to keep them very sleek, very minimalistic, and not necessarily small, but minimalistic. I'll show you another example here that's a non-small purse, but that fits in this kind of category. I think it just helps to, like I said, tone down those ruffles and not have them seem too young and too girly, too little girl. So that necklace is a great example. Like for this one, I kind of loved this little pop of pink with it. So taking this little cute bag that's just really sleek and kind of a wallet purse with those fun denim and letting that purse be your pop of color, I think that's a great way to wear this blouse. And this blouse has so much going on around the neck. It's got the tie front, it's got the ruffles, so you're probably not going to want to put a necklace with it anyway. But you take that fun little crossbody with your jeans, and suddenly you have a really cute look that's feminine but toned down. For this one, say we were using these fun boho jeans with the bottom that's embroidered. So doing maybe a really cute and trendy chain necklace like this in the neck, and then just a real simple handbag like this. That's going to just help kind of anchor. Do you see how that just really anchors this whole look? Because you're letting the top be the thing that's doing all the talking here. You've got your boho details on the bottom, you've got your really nice neutral purse, and it just kind of pulls the whole thing together, but keeps it from being over the top in any category that we've been talking about. And then, you can add more or less with your shoes. So like this shoe, with this fun little kind of southwestern print, if you had a little bit more minimalistic top, maybe something that's not printed, but still has the ruffle details, but then you do a little bit more of a fun shoe and a little bit more of a fun handbag, that's a way to do it as well. We talked about the cowboy boot already and how, you could do that cowboy boot to skew it Western. Or you can keep your, your shoe just solid like this, easy and nice. So like if you wanted to dress any of these up, you could add cute little heel, denim heel, And then, you know, maybe like a denim or a black handbag, which would be really, really cute. You don't have to match your shoes with your handbags anymore, but I still love that look. I still love that pulled together look. So you don't have to, and it's fine not to, but sometimes it's fun to still do that. And then, because we're talking about kind of pulling everything together, I wanted to talk about some summer scents, because you also need to be transitioning your makeup right now. You need to be transitioning your perfume right now. And just the whole thing, the whole shebang needs to transition to a little bit more summer, lighter kind of a feeling. So we just restocked on our mixology fragrances, which come in these really handy little roller containers. They're a mixture of synthetic and essential oils, and they just roll on like this. They smell really good, and you can roll them back behind your ears, whatever. They last all day. So really easy fragrance, great Easter basket also, or Mother's Day gift. All those things are coming up. Easter basket gifts, Mother's Day gifts. But we have Serene, which is a light floral. So floral scents just kind of scream summer, right? We have Tender, which is fruity. We have Free, which is like ocean mist, so a little bit cleaner smell, very nice and light for summer. We have Tempted, which is coconut. Coconut always makes me think of summer. And we have Inspired, which is rose floral. So again, those rose scents are always going to make us think of summer too, and grandma, right? So if you're looking for a new fresh scent to add into your new fresh summer and spring looks, here you go. And they're really reasonable too. They are $25. So, okay, so that is that. We have a guest coming in this week for Fashionable Friday. So Kathy Holman, aka Prairie Wife, is doing our photo shoot this week, and her Prairie Wife pics. So she and I are going to go live right here on Facebook and Instagram on Friday at 12:15 with our brand new collection and her pics, her favorite items from that collection. So be sure to tune in at 12:15 right here on Friday. All right, we also have our Splish Splash sale happening this weekend. So I'm going to have a tub of rubber duckies, and you get to pick your rubber ducky. They'll have a colored dot on the bottom, and then that colored dot will correspond to discounts, freebies, all kinds of fun. We're going to have some peeps. Let's celebrate, guys. It is spring. It is almost Easter. I am ready. I hope you guys are too. So I hope you plan to come and see us this weekend for that fun event. If you want to find out what you could win, that is in our Facebook event, Splish Splash Sale. All right, you guys, have a good night.